Is the Biden administration struggling in delivering a clear message on immigration? In this video, I'll talk about the latest on immigration, and I will talk about the current standing, like the status of the immigration bill. Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And please go ahead and share, like, and don't forget to comment below. Let's get right into it. Let's start with Nancy Pelosi. We all know that Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House, and Nancy Pelosi has made it very clear to us that they will not be voting on the Biden immigration reform. Remember the big one, the one that was supposed to give open a pathway citizenship for 11 million undocumented individuals. On March 4th, 2021, Nancy Pelosi made it very clear they will not be voting on that immigration reform this spring. Okay, she didn't say when exactly they will attempt to start voting on it. She just made it clear that this spring, meaning March and April, they will not be voting. They will not be voting on that immigration bill. So now the question is, when exactly are they going to start voting on that immigration bill, the biggest reform? She didn't say anything. Now we are shooting for fall. But in my personal opinion, if something happens in March with those standalone bills, then I'm pretty sure that they're not going to talk about it until next year, next spring. So that's something to watch for. Okay. And then we have confusion at the as far as at the borders. Okay, deportation. One day deportation stopped, the other day deportation is back on. So the current standing on deportation is back on. But ICE has made it clear to us too that they are going to use their discretion, and they are going after people who they deem that they are a threat to national security, a threat for public safety, people that are a threat as terrorists. So pretty much people with serious crimes, okay, felonies and so forth. So those are the people that they are actually targeting. So that's something to actually keep in mind if you have been ordered removed. As long as you don't fit those criteria, at least you are not the target as far as ICE is concerned. And the bad news, another bad news is that, remember, Venezuela has been designated as a TPS country. But unfortunately, Venezuela, if you apply, as I was saying, that you need to apply for the TPS, but if you apply in the hope that to be part of the Promise Act, unfortunately, they made it very clear that you will not be part of the Promise Act, the one that they are trying to pass this spring. So you can apply for the TPS. It's always good to have more than one benefit, because TPS is considered a lawful presence as opposed to asylum pending. So TPS is better than asylum pending. So if you have asylum pending and you have TPS, both, you can have more than one benefit. That's what I'm saying. But unfortunately, you will not be part of the Promise Act. That's a very disappointing situation. Okay. And now let's talk about the Promise Act, the Dream Act, and the Workforce Agriculture Modernization Act, the one for agriculture. It's so long that I always forget about it. The Farm Workforce Modernization Act. So those are the three main things that they will be voting for next week. I don't have the exact date, but it's going to happen next week. And by the way, once the this bill passes and become law, I will do a live session, because we really have to answer those questions once we have something tangible to go with. Because right now we're just speculating and so confusing. But once it passes, because remember, they have to negotiate back and forth and come up with the final version. So let's just wait until it passes and becomes law. Then I'll come back here and make a live session for 1 hour and answer all the questions that you might have. At least most of the questions. If we cannot answer all the questions in 1 hour, we will answer at least 70% of your questions. Okay, just keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's do those things. Let's just dissect a little bit on those 3 bills that the one that they told us that they were going to be voting for the next week. So let's start with the Dream Act. With the Dream Act, we have dreamers and we have DACA recipients. Dreamers are the people who were brought in the US prior to turning 18 illegally. With that one, you have to have lived continuously in the US at least 4 years from the date you were brought in the US under 18 illegally. 4 years to meet the requirement. And then you are going to get only a temporary green card for 10 years. Okay, you're gonna get a temporary green card for 10 years. For DACA recipient, if your DACA is current and it hasn't been disqualified for renewal, you have a chance to apply directly for a green card, provided that you meet those requirements, that no criminal background, GED diploma or high school diploma or higher education, and then continuous living in the US as well. So, but again, if let's say that you are a dreamer, the person that has been brought in the US when you were under 18 illegally, and you've lived for continuously in the US for 4 years, and you get your conditional green card for 10 years, and you want to apply for a green card, what's going to happen is if you meet certain requirements, you don't have to wait for the 10 years green card to expire in order for you to apply for a permanent green card. So if you serve in the military for 2 years and work for continuously for 3 years, pay your taxes and all that, or get a higher degree, like a bachelor degree, when you actually are on that conditional green card, then you will be qualified to apply for a permanent green card without waiting for the 10 years conditional green card to pass. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind as well. So we made it clear. Dreamers must have been brought in the US illegally under the age of 18 and lived continuously for a period of 4 years to qualify, no criminal background and so forth, and then you can apply for a conditional green card. DACA recipient, if your DACA is valid and has not been disqualified, and then you meet certain requirements as well, no background, no criminal background, of course, no basically high school diploma with a high school diploma or GED or higher education, and certain other requirement that they didn't list here, then you can apply for a green card directly, like a permanent one, instead of getting a conditional one. Okay, for TPS holders, if your TPS is current, or you have been on TPS as of September 17, 2017, or you had deferred enforced departure status as of January 20, 2021. So basically you have a TPS current, and then you have defer enforced departure, that's for Liberian people, as of January 2021, then you will apply directly for the green card, and then after 5 years you get your U.S. citizenship. I mean, you apply for the U.S. citizenship, provided that you meet the requirement again, no criminal background, so forth. Okay? So, TPS holder has it, they have it a little bit easier than dreamers, because dreamers, they go with a conditional green card. Okay, and then we have the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. That's specific for people who have worked in the farm industry, agriculture industry. You must have been worked at least for 180 days for the past 2 years to qualify for a certified agricultural worker status. That's what you're gonna get, a certified agricultural worker status. And after you get that, you start, you continue to work at least 100 days a year for 100 days a year. Then a path to a green card will be open to you. Okay, that's what it is. And then in that bill, they will add a new program, adding 20,000 visa for H2A, that's agriculture, a year. And then including the family will get a right to work, etc., etc. And another great news is that Burma has been designated for TPS for 18 months, started on March 11, 2021. If you are from Burma, BURMA, on my channel, please call my office so we can apply for a TPS. It's a temporary protected status. It's considered lawful presence, comes with work permit, and of course you have to apply for the work permit as well. Comes with work permit and travel document if possible. So please don't hesitate, if you're from Burma, to call my office. But Venezuela people, unfortunately, you will not be part of the DREAM Act if it passes. So we thought that if the DREAM Act passes and you have your TPS current, you can just join it and get your green card. But unfortunately, my friend, this Biden administration, to be honest with you, they don't have a clear message on immigration. It's like every day it keeps changing, and it's just very confusing for us to deliver a great message to you. But you have to bear with me, because every time there is an update, I have to come here to continuously update you, because it's just like, it's so confusing. So that's why I'm saying we have to wait for this bill to pass before I actually do a live session, so that we will have something very clear to work on and you can ask your questions. Okay, Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area, and this was the US immigration. Bye bye.